evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Oh, I even said that wrong. I am here with Andrew Ocheltree.
Yeah.
All right, I said it right. And we are going over his undefeated Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. What were your matchups?
2 Monarchs, a BA, and a Pendulum, so all meta stuff.
All right, awesome. So if we could go into the deck profile.
Sure. You gotta run triple alternative, best card in the deck. It's the card we all waited for to make the best searching card in the deck viable.
Okay.
There's no explanation there. Then you gotta run triple DDS Blue Eyes.
They have to be DDS and signed by Kaiba, right?
Yeah, signed by the voice actor Seto Kaiba, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, on the actual card too. Don't be whipping to get them signed on the case. You want to actually damage your $800 DDS Blue Eyes.
So automatically, this is out of my price range. You know, I have some expensive stuff.
Yeah. The 1 Dragon Spirit of White. I always call it by its old name. Some people run 2. It's useful for when it comes out, but otherwise it's just there.
Okay.
It's usually a Silver Scry play against Pendulum decks.
Okay.
Or against, mostly Silver Scry. Because you get around the Iris, the Sky Iris.
Okay.
I am running the Ritual build. I think it's extremely cancerous. BA really doesn't have an answer to it outside of Utopic Future.
Okay.
Cosmos don't have an answer outside of Cosmojo. Okay. It's really easy to summon. And it's a 4K beat stick and does double pierce damage, so...
Okay. Yeah, there's been times where that card just, like, wins you the game.
Yeah,
right?
It's the embodiment of Hopeless Dragons. It's you know...
Okay.
It's this deck version of a Helmet Head play. 3 Manju to search the 2 Chaos Max Dragons. Definitely 3. You have to cut other cards in the deck to make the normal summons work out. I've been playing 8 normal summons. Okay. I don't recommend going over that. You start dead drawing cards.
Okay. So, with Manju, do you ever find out that you're drawing more copies of Manju than you need, or that you're using?
I've drawn 2 occasionally, but even then, like, you make a Chaos Max Dragon, they waste resources to get through it, you just make another Chaos Max Dragon.
That makes sense.
I haven't figured out how to solve the issue with him being on the board after all my plays are done. The only thing I can think of is Sage him off the board for Blue Eyes, but it's not worth adding extra cards to the deck to solve a problem that really isn't a problem. It's just the fact that there's a 1400 Manju that's not a 3000 beat stick.
That makes sense.
It just feels out of place, but it's whatever. 1 White Stone for searching Blue Eyes. Also, it's good for the Galaxy engine that I am running.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to search for trade and target. 2 stones.
All right, here's where things get a lot of interesting.
Yeah, I was running 3 at the start of last week. It clogs. I don't really want to see this card in my hand ever. It's okay occasionally if this is why I cut some of my normal summons for Manjus. I've never actually needed more than 2 searches from the graveyard anyway back to my hand with the Blue Eyes stuff. So I cut it to 2. I am loving it too, especially when you play the other stone. At 1, I don't. You can play 3. That's your opinion. It's your choice. But for me, 2 is working, and I don't ever want to see 2 in my opening hand. And there's a rule of the game where if you're running a 3 of something, you have to be willing to see 2 of it in your opening hand and be okay with that. And I'm not okay with seeing 2 of this.
Okay, that's a really good rule of the thumb.
Yeah. 1 Sage.
And that's where a lot of people, more people are going to be pissed off.
Part of cutting normal summons from the deck for the Manjus to run the Ritual engine, you had to cut something. This is good, but not that good. A lot of people focus really hard on the Synchroing engine in Blue Eyes, and I actually think the Synchroing engine is more of a flavor that helps the deck defensively. It doesn't really help the deck offensively much. It's much more of a defensive reactive play.
Have you actually missed using Sage with Eyes of Blue's effect?
Which one?
The effect, the special summon from the deck.
Not really.
Okay.
He's good at 1, mostly because you want to search the 1 Veiler.
Okay.
But I never want to see more than 1 in my opening hand. I don't really use the second effect unless I'm ditching it from the Manju to get it off the board. But like I said, I feel the Manju is a stronger play than this, so I cut this to 1.
Okay.
The 1 Veiler to match it. If you play Sage, you have to play Veiler, because if you're searching off Sage and you're not summoning Veiler, or you're searching Veiler, you're just not doing anything effective in the meta game. I always felt really weak if I wasn't searching Veiler off this. So
a lot of people feel that Veiler isn't optimal in builds because it doesn't have a really good matchup against decks like Cosmo. BA, it's okay, but you know, how do you feel about that?
It's really good in the mirror match. It's nuts against Monarch. It's okay against Cosmo and BA. It doesn't really have much purpose in in the Cosmo matchup. But
ultimately, because it's a searchable level 1/2 now.
right, it's also a free negation. It's really good against these guys next, which are the next card, especially the mirror match.
Okay.
Since I'm playing the ritual build, if you negate this and leave it, and they have to put it in defense mode,
You win.
you win because you just 4K over it for double pierce damage, is 8,000 damage right off the bat.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
And they ditched a card which cripples them.
Okay.
So if you draw the one Veiler, whenever I've been playing mirror match and me and my opponent have done this, it is so crippling to get out of this.
Okay.
You usually lose because you have to waste too many resources. Two soldiers, excuse me. Everyone runs 3. I understand everyone likes to run 3 because they want to see it. But once you use the effect once to search the other one, the third one is dead in the deck. There is nothing it can do. People have compensated for that by playing the Galaxy Serpent. So
Yeah, and more Galaxy cards. such
right,
as,
which I was also doing last week. But the more Galaxy cards you put in, the more dead the deck became. Especially the Serpent. I hate the Serpent. I love what he can do for the deck, but
But he's a Carter Consonants target.
yeah, but I don't play cards of consonants either. He never felt like he was useful to me. So I cut it down to 2. The third one is now a Galaxy Wizard. The reason why I love this is because if you open one of these, you search the other one. So now you've got the Infinity play. Your third wizard, your third soldier that would be dead in the deck is now instead a wizard, and the wizard can just become a level 4 normal summon that makes itself a level 8 for rank plays. Or if you don't open this and you open this, which would have been your third soldier, you can summon it, tribute it off the board, and search this, and then you basically just waste your normal summon, which isn't that important in this deck, to basically do the same thing and search your Galaxy soldiers and get all your cards out of the deck.
Very
So
interesting.
it's a tutor.
So, I mean, how do you feel about the players that actually ran like multiple copies of the Galaxy Soldiers, and then ran like the Light Expedition engine with the other level 8 guy?
Me last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Basically,
bad.
how do you feel about yourself last week?
Me last week. me last week was having problems with the Serpents and the Galaxy Eyes Dragon, and I was dead drawing the Galaxy Expedition from time to time.
Okay.
I liked that it gave me more resources to work with, but it also led to more dead draws and more dead cards.
That makes sense.
Just a 3-card Galaxy engine, that's all you need. You're only looking to do the one Infinity play with it.
Okay.
That's all it is. Into the spells. I'm not sure how many monsters that is. Someone can count for me.
I mean, I'm just gonna say, I'm pretty sure people can count.
Yeah. Triple trade-in, obvious. It's pot of greed for the deck. Triple Melody of Awakening Dragon. This was the card everyone wanted to play for so long. That is a search card.
I mean, the card. What's really interesting about that card is that you can still search the ritual with it.
Right.
Because it's over 3,000 and under 25
Right.
defense. So.
Right, and that's why I only run the 3 Manju and then a couple spell cards.
I really like that because I felt that running the ritual, that gives it more than just, search blue eyes, search alternative.
Right.
Which I don't necessarily feel is like, always mandatory, but.
Usually what it is, that's the play you make anyway, but running the ritual also allows you to have a higher ceiling. You can do more things in one turn than you could with the
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you'll draw the blue eyes.
Yeah.
Hopefully yours is DDS, or sometimes you'll draw the alternative, and you necessarily don't need to search a second copy. So it provides another,
play.
a different monster to go into.
Instead of being summoned to like one normal summon and a alternative dragon, then maybe some monster borns, you now have the alternative, the normal summon, the Galaxy Infinity play, and the Chaos Magic Dragon play. Like your board push ceiling goes so much higher by playing the ritual build.
Okay.
And the Galaxy build.
Yeah.
So those 3, obviously the 1 soul charge. I chose German because this thing loves me.
How many nutty boards have you made with it?
A lot.
It's
You
like-
can make some ridiculous stuff.
What do you? Go ahead.
You can, where is it? You can Foolish Burial the Galaxy Soldier to the graveyard and then soul charge it back
And gain its effect.
and get the search.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that's
So more often than not, can I assume when you open Soul Charge, you're probably gonna win?
yeah. If this deck opens soul charge, if people dedicate board space to searching soul charge with left arm,
Yeah.
I don't like left arm just because it's so much resources you have to give up just for 1 soul charge. I understand soul charge is a really great card, and you will 9 times out of 10 win the game because of it. I'm just not willing to give up half my hand to do it.
Okay.
3 of the only card in the deck that I feel is broken. Everything else in the deck up to this point is fine. There's nothing ban-worthy. This card is definitely at least limited to 1 or bannable.
Monster Reborn that protects your monster.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound once per turn.
Yeah.
So this is better than Monster Born ever was. This is definitely going to be hit to 1 for sure. Maybe not for like 6 months, but that card's nuts. Silver Sky, it's supposed to be vanilla. I know it's DT, it looks DT. I have a sticker on it because I wanted it to look cool.
Why only 1 though? A lot of people play 2 to 3.
I don't want to dead draw. I don't really want to see 2 ever. You can't activate 2 in 1 turn. That's why I cut to 1-1 as a business as well.
Okay.
But you don't really need that many Monster Borns anymore. With the ability to summon Chaos Ritual Dragon as well, along with everything else, you don't need to rely on the Monster Borning as much. You have more things you can do on the board pushing from your hand to begin with, so you don't have to rely on as many Monster Borns.
Okay.
I haven't had a problem with the 5 I'm playing, so they come in clutch when I need them. You can play 2 though. It's not an issue if you want to play 2 or 1. I just choose 1. 1 Dragon Shrine. I was playing 2. There was a lot of times where I would draw 2, and the 1 is dead.
Because you can only activate it once per turn or something?
Correct, yeah. Okay. And I also found myself that once I used Dragon Shrine once, the second Dragon Shrine was only ever ditching 1 card usually.
Okay.
It wasn't doing a double ditch. So I switched to Foolish Burial.
Because Foolish has more plus.
Right.
Okay.
It allows you to do more things. You could take this out and just run 1. I would not run 2. Because you don't want to open yourself up to dead draws or cards you can't use turn 1.
Makes sense.
So, I also built this deck to go second, preferably, so you could just kill somebody. But you can go first with the Ritual build, which is nice.
I'm like completely in love with that card before you even finish.
The Ritual?
Yeah, that Chaos Form card,
Chaos Form?
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the Blackluster Soldiers, some of the Blue Eyes. You can even summon Black Magician of Chaos with, I'm pretty sure YouTube people like it. It's not competitive whatsoever, but that card's awesome.
Yeah, also it's from hand, field, or graveyard for the banish.
Yeah.
Which is really strong.
It's like, that card's awesome.
So you run 1 of this, and then I run 2. You can run 3 Advanced Ritual Arts if you want to, or you can run 2 and 2.
Well, isn't Advanced Ritual Art limited?
No, it's unlimited now.
Oh.
It came off the ban list.
I'm like behind.
Yeah, it came off the list. I don't recommend running 3 Advanced Ritual Arts because you'll run out of Blue Eyes before you ever have a chance to activate the 3rd one.
Okay.
I usually run out of Blue Eyes before I have a chance to activate the 2nd one.
Okay.
Because you're just ditching them so fast, or searching them off Melody.
And Advanced Ritual Art has to be from deck.
Right. Oh, no, it can be from hand.
Oh, again?
Yeah, it can be from hand.
Arc of the Sword was
Yeah,
only
it's deck
from
or
deck.
hand.
Okay,
Or
cool.
deck or... From your deck to the graveyard. Oh no, it's from the deck.
Yeah,
I thought it was from your hand as well.
That was a pretty big problem when people were playing Herald of Perfection, was drawing the shine balls.
Yeah, always read cards, ladies and gentlemen. It's just from deck. But
Yeah.
so you run 2 because you want to ditch early and not have to waste your resources in your hand. And then this later on in the game, you can add back the ritual with the stones.
Yeah.
And then just banish the dragon from the graveyard.
Well, we're at like 12 minutes into the video, so we're gonna kind of speed it up a little bit.
All right, 2 Twin Booster. You're going second. You want to deal with back. My 1 tech card, Dragon's Mirror.
Oh, that card's awesome.
I always play Dragon's Mirror in any Dragon deck I play, just because it's a 1-card thing that you can just do. You just push ridiculous damage with.
Yeah, I love that card.
And then the 1 Vanities for the Spark Clock. Extra deck, super standard. 2 Spirit Eyes. And you never make a 3rd one. Only 1 Azure. If you're not winning by the time this resolves, you don't really ever need to resolve the 3rd one because you're going to lose the game anyway.
Okay.
1 Spark, usually for the Vanities lock. The Moon Rose for interruption plays. The Michael to deal with boards that you just don't want to deal with.
Okay.
For Exceeds, you have Taukion, which can be the Prime Photon if you want it to be. I do not run the full armor Photon.
Okay,
It's,
why not?
You don't need it. You honestly don't need it, and it takes up extra deck spots that are so vital.
Okay.
It's just, it's excessive. It's just dead weight that you don't need to play.
Okay.
Dark Matter, that's a nutty ass card. Heliopolis does not target things, which is nuts. You usually can Heliopolis aboard than Dragon's Mirror and summon this guy for game.
Okay.
The Dragaloon for mirror match mostly, or to take Taukions against the Pendulum decks.
Okay.
The Taukion. The 1 Twin Burst and 1 Ultim. People run 2. You also know one of the things where you don't, it's like just like the full armor, you don't actually need 2 to win the game.
Okay.
Usually dealing 9,000 damage in addition to 1 Twin Burst is enough to win the game.
Okay.
So I just cut it from the deck. If you cut Dragon's Mirror, then I would cut this as well.
Okay.
You can just, this is more important, and you can just contact fuse for this. And then obviously the Cyber Infinity combo
Alright.
to
So before I go into the the interview type questions, please show us that the blue eyes shining dragon thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is keep in mind, guys, this is before the movie pack debuted, so Alternative wasn't released, the Ritual Monster wasn't released, so this guy was running around summoning blue eyes shining dragon on people, and it was practically swagging. So
it's the secret.
yeah, if you can explain to us how exactly you did it.
Dragon's Mirror usually. You just Dragon's Mirror it out.
So you would just Dragon's Mirror and then you
Yeah.
tribute the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for the
Right.
And didn't it won you games more often than not, right?
Oh yeah, it's only Cause Mojo can deal with this, or Utopic Future can deal with this. This thing is basically, before we had Chaos Max Dragon, which is easier to summon and faster and better. This was the same thing. And usually, if you summon this, which was hard to do, if you summon this, you usually won the game.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
just to let you guys know, Blue Eyes Shining Dragon isn't the worst Blue Eyes of all time. It's probably that Deep Eyes trash, but
Yeah.
we're not really going to talk about that.
Yeah, I would love to play this. It's my favorite card, but this is just so much easier to summon.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Also, what's really cool is once you did Dragon's Mirror for the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, if you had this on the board because you tributed the Ultimate off, and you had an Azure Eyes, the next turn the Azure Eyes can bring back the Ultimate because it is a vanilla fusion.
Oh, I would have swore it said. That's interesting.
So-
All right. So, what exactly were your hardest matchups during that tournament you went undefeated?
Monarchs is tricky just because the opening first couple turns is a little bit back and forth. If you ever get them down to 1 or 2 cards, and you're down to 1 or 2 cards, you'll win. You'll outpace them. You have to dodge around the Stormforth, obviously, because that's the worst card in that matchup. Erebus is kind of rough, but there are cards in my side deck that are blowouts that I'm attacking that are things that I don't want to reveal.
And we're going to keep them a secret for right
Yeah,
now.
we're gonna make it a secret. We can do another profile later on that has revelations in them, but mostly the tech cards in the side deck wreck them.
And what were your easiest matchups?
The BAs. Now, BA used to be my hardest matchup, and now it's my easiest matchup.
Aw.
Because you make the ritual,
And then we can't get over it. You're right.
they have to make Utopic Beyond.
But
to
I
deal
played
with
them
it.
kaijus, bro. What you gonna do about that?
But like, if you get rid of this, I'll just make another one.
Oh shit.
But they have to make Utopic Beyond to deal with it. It's the only answer they have to it.
Okay.
And then when they make the Utopic Beyond, you easily just go into this, attack them. This effect triggers, the Utopic effect triggers. This goes to their side of the field. You banish the Utopic Future when the battle step ends. And then you get this back at the end of the turn, and then you just make another one of these the next turn, and the game ends.
That makes sense. That makes
So
sense.
you force them into a play that you're okay with them making, and then you just make another one and the game ends.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Is there any other comments that you would like to? Other than Team Mystic's the best team of all time, but we'll obviously talk about that later.
Winter's coming.
Yeah, but
I'm really happy with the deck. I would love to fix the Manju problem if I can. I would love to add one more Sage back into the deck if I could.
Okay.
And I would love to add Upstart Goblin into the deck. I'm actually thinking about taking Upstart Goblin into my sideboard so that when I side out the Galaxy Engine or the Ritual Engine in certain matchups,
You'll have that.
I can put an Upstart in to lower the deck count back down to 39.
quick question: would you feel that this deck would be tier 1? Let's say the ban list wasn't until November. Would you feel like this deck would be able to compete and win major events?
My opinion right now, this build, for my personal build with the Ritual and the Chaos build, especially the Ritual build in general, I feel that in terms of tier list, it goes Monarchs, which then this deck. I actually think this deck is better than either one. It won't matter.
They're practically the same thing.
It'd be EDM versus this would be EDM because this beats up the main really easily. It'd be Monarchs, then this deck because this deck beats Cosmo and it beats BA relatively, and it beats Pendulum relatively easy. So then this, then Pendulum or BA, and then Demise Cosmo fits in somewhere there, but I think Demise is a really cheap card. I think drawing plussing 2 for free is pretty.
And then setting like 8 back row is the thing. But thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. This is Andrew Ocheltree.
Ocheltree.
He has been showing you guys the Blue Eyes deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.